Welcome to the Good Pod, where today we're talking Elsbeth, Season 3, Episode 12, All's Hair. I'm one of your hosts, Jason Reed. With me, as always, to discuss another murder. It's Marissa Garza. Marissa, you good?
I'm good. Jason, are you good?
I'm good. I am okay.
I'm
let
more
me
concerned
downgrade
about
myself.
how good you are.
Let me downgrade myself from good to okay. I did recently have a little bit of a stay in the hospital for to get out a vital organ called the gallbladder. But I am back. I'm good. I'm okay. Well, yeah,
Good.
I'm okay. Not good. I will be good probably in a week.
It is good that you are okay.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Marissa. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Yes, here we are. Episode 12 of Elsbeth. We are a little more than halfway through the season.
Yeah.
It was a case. This case went into the wig business, went into the business of wigging in New York. Learned a lot that I didn't know about wig making, wig businesses, weaves, whatever you want to call them. But we're going to dive right into it. But before we do that, I want to remind you of some free and easy ways that you can support this small business fledgling podcast.
With one less gallbladder.
Only one gallbladder between us now. Help me buy a new gallbladder. Can I do that? Is that a thing? Like, can I buy someone's gallbladder, have it inserted? Because here's the thing: without a gallbladder now, it's harder to digest spicy, greasy, and high-fat foods, which are like my favorite foods. So I might need to get a new gallbladder installed so I can go back to eating my normal diet. So there's that. So we'll see what we can do with that. But you can help this podcast out by reviewing, rating, and subscribing to wherever it is you are listening, watching. There's a thumbs up, there's a follow, there's a comment section you can get into. We really want you guys to be active in this small good pod community that we have. If you want to email us about anything, you can also do that at thegoodpodfeedback@gmail.com. And if you want to help contribute to the Jason Gallbladder Fund, you can do that by going to buymeacoffee.com/goodpod. Those are all ways you can help this podcast out.
I will transfer the funds from the Jason Gets a Fountain Pen to Jason Gets a new gallbladder because
priorities.
Yeah, I mean, but maybe we could get you both. Maybe we could do that.
Let's see. Let's see about it. So now that all the housekeeping's out later, so let's get into the case of the week.
The murder. I won't say it. Murder. If I roll my R's, I sound too murder. I can't do it. Okay. Anywho, we meet Felix West.
If they ever get to have Alan come and get on the show, he has to do that, right? Like that's
He has
to.
So this was like definitely a stylistic episode of Elsbeth. I enjoyed it. We got to hear the inner monologue of Felix West as he is telling us about the wig business in New York. We've got 5 big wigs that we're meeting. First of all, I had no idea where we were when we started this episode, but then we learned kind of like a mob movie style of like, or Romeo Juliet Baz Luhrmann version of who is who. And we have 5 bigwigs, as they call it. Bruce Gallon, who takes over opera and theater. Eat that, Timothy Chalamet. If you know, you know. Like, if you know, you know. Andrea Fowler, who takes care of the Orthodox community and the ladies who lunch. And then we have Domenico Capelli, who takes care of TV, film, and the music industry. Persimmon, who takes and rules over the drag community and exotic dancers. And then our narrator, Felix West, who takes care of toupees and hair pieces for the New York elite. And I have to say, Jason, I was so happy to see Jeff Hiller screen as Felix West.
So here's the thing, right? Like I feel like Jeff Hiller, our murderer of the week, our guest star of the week, I didn't really know who this was. Like I think I have seen him. He does have a distinctive look. I've seen him out there as he's probably done some like one-offs. Now I don't watch what is it called?
Somebody Somewhere.
Something Somewhere. Somebody Somewhere. Sorry. So I wasn't really hip to who he was. So I am wondering, like, is this are we getting to the Elsbeth stage to where kind of well, that's not true. To where like the Masked Singers.
He
If you watch like
Oh,
current season
no.
Masked Singer,
He won
we're
an
like
Emmy, Jason.
we're
He
really
won an
reaching.
Emmy.
Okay. Okay, but I feel like if you go to the normal person on the street, like, hey, you just see the last Jeff Heller thing, they'd be like, huh? Who? What? So I do wonder if we're starting to get to there to like, you know, if you watch the Masked Singer, they're just starting to unmask celebrities where you're like, who's that person? Whereas in the Masked Singer in the first couple seasons, isn't the Masked Singer the first couple seasons, like they're unmasking like huge superstar celebrities every week, and I was just like, who's this person? So that was just my feeling.
No, I'm not standing for this. I'm not standing for this because Jeff Hiller is an amazing human, and if you need to watch Somebody Somewhere for so many reasons. It is like Schitt's Creek, but not. It is also features the mall that I went to as a kid, and it also is very heartwarming. And Jeff Hiller does a fantastic performance, and his story is great. He wrote a book. He like look him up on any talk show that he's been on. Always good. I will be the counter argument to the we're getting to Masked Singer territory, because not all of the people on here have been, you know, A-list celebs.
I know, but I feel like in the first couple of seasons, it's like, oh my god, it's Alyssa Milano, it's Nathan
for sure,
Lane, it's these people. It's just like now it's just like we got Jeff Hiller, who's great. Like I enjoy Jeff Hiller for what he gave me, but it's just like again, it's just like okay, but not like we're not knocking it out of the park. We're not knocking it out of the park. But I understand your passion. I'm just like,
thank you.
Like, I don't know who this is, but that's fine. That's totally fine. I don't need to know who everybody is. The question is, did I enjoy him in the role? I did. I thought he was fun and kooky. And as far as the monologuing, our murderer last week did the same thing. So I'm wondering
if this that's is how good my memory is.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's now going to be a thing going forward of like we're going to get a kind of like a monologue from the murderer in the beginning of the show to kind of give us more context to how they're feeling, what's going on in their mind at the time. So I actually really think it's a really good positive step in the right direction for Elsbeth. I think it does give a little more to the story when you know exactly what the murderer is feeling and thinking in the moments before, during, or after the murder.
Especially because we are, at least in the precinct, focusing more on facts. Like we have to get to the facts to be able to make the conviction, as opposed to before. I think we kind of leaned on Elsbeth a little bit to give us, like, to telegraph those emotions to the audience. So yes. So we meet all of these bigwigs while they are waiting for a shipment of molten gold, which is virgin, which means never been colored blonde hair. This is like the primo stuff. The shipment, of course, is delayed. Did you hear that? For tariffs, in case
tariffs. Hey,
tariffs. Oh,
the tariffs don't hurt us, Marissa. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I must have misheard. Everyone is freaking out because they need this, and it is like, as we will learn later, a very big time for wig culture. It's like the wig-ageddon. There's a lot of things going on. And we also then, after all of that happens, we get introduced to a daytime talk show host named Lena Viante. And she is visiting Felix, and Felix is like, excuse me, why are you here? You're like usually on Domenico's client list. She's like, yeah, but I need something new. This is an HD. And I'm like, you've been in HD for many years now, but okay.
This isn't like 2008.
Yeah. I was like, all right, okay. And she wants like a new natural look that Domenico cannot provide. Domenico's much more traditional wig making, I guess. And Felix, the toupee maker, like usually only working on toupees, which I guess you have to be a little bit more naturally looking because it's smaller. You have to work with a lot more forehead real estate, I guess. So Felix is hesitant to take the opportunity, but he does realize that like and Lena says this, like, okay, but like if I become your client, I can introduce you to all these TV people. And Felix is like, oh, okay. She's like, I need to buy.
He sees those dollar signs. At first, he's like, no, I can't take from a competitor. But he's like, actually, this could open a new avenue for him. So he's like, oh, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go.
Yes. And she's like, I need this by Saturday for this gala that I'm going to. And he's like, don't worry, I have enough. I have enough material. Apparently had like a stockpile of molten gold somewhere in the back because that is the exact shade of Lena's hair. And he's meticulously putting this wig together, has everything together except for the all-important side-swept bang. And he has run out of hair at this point, and he's like, oh no, what am I gonna do? So his solution, first of all, is to walk around New York with a big pair of scissors. Who does that?
Yeah, this is in his bag.
Yeah. And second of all, to just snip the ponytail off of a girl who's sitting on a bench waiting for her friends, basically.
And these are like, these aren't just like scissors. Like you might I don't you might.
I think they're like sewing scissors. They're like they look like they could. But
these were
like quilts.
These were Edward Scissorhands scissors. Like these are crazy. Like I don't know if you do you rock like a purse or like a bag?
Marissa? Yeah.
Would you put a pair of scissors in your bag? Like maybe some small ones, maybe for like small things.
I have had a sewing kit in my bag just in case like something like I need to cut off a thread or like mend something really quick, but those are like tiny scissors.
It's like some ribbon cutting scissors he just had like in his bag. I was like, were you like you didn't know you're gonna stumble across this opportunity, but you were ready.
He is not getting through TSA with those for sure. So this though was the missing piece. It makes the wig perfect, and he's so happy with his work. Then he gets a call. Yeah, go ahead.
I just the temerity to cut off a stranger's ponytail.
Yeah, I know.
In public. It's just like, you didn't think you were going to get caught. You didn't think the person would turn around and be like, what the hell? Do they not feel it? It was bizarre. I was like, that is crazy.
But I mean, and he didn't even like put the ponytail in his bag right away. He kind of just like walked around with it, which yes.
Yeah.
So Domenico calls Felix and he's like, why wasn't Felix there when the molten gold shipment finally arrived? He thinks something's up, something sneaky, and he wants to talk. So Felix is like, okay, I guess. I will note that it was nice to see a landline phone being used in this conversation. Domenico's so old school, like so old school. So Felix arrives at Domenico's place and finds a pot of sauce being cooked. It smells great. He like, again, I guess this is because he has the audacity to like cut someone's ponytail off. He just like goes up to the pot and sniffs, like takes the lid off and sniffs it, though Domenico hasn't even come like around yet.
First of all, just to walk into Domenico's house, just like you own the place, was wild in the first place, and then be like, oh, what's everybody got cooking in here? I was like, sir, this is not your house.
Yeah, no. And Domenico not only like he kind of used the molten gold thing to really confront Felix about stealing Lena from him. As like, this is not how it's done, because at the beginning of the episodes, everyone is kind of introduced with their own domains and they're one big happy family, and this is how like they work together, all of this stuff. But Domenico quickly turns on, I don't know, the mob presence that apparently was there the whole time. I don't know. I don't like when this is a typical situation, but he pulled it off pretty well. He's like, listen, Felix, you work for me now, or I'm going to tell everyone that you snipped someone's ponytail. And he's like, what? No. Ugh, fine. How much do you want? And Domenico says 40% of any the sales Felix makes.
Now, see, Domenico, like, I feel like he'd still be alive today if you went down to like 10%. Like
yeah,
10, exactly. 15%, but you want 40%. At that point, I'm just like, it ain't even worth it. I just get out of the wig business. Like, I don't know. I'll go find something else. You're taking 40% of my sales. Domenico, you gotta learn the art of negotiation, because you started way too high, my guy.
Exactly. And so they then like, okay, so first Felix is like, okay, I'll agree. And then Domenico turns his back to walk away, and they tumble. Like, they have a tumble. There's a lot. There's like boy fighting on the floor.
Yeah, well, it's like two old men fighting, of like, just like, you know, little push, a little shove. I'm on top of you, you're on top of me. Like, we don't know how to really fight. Like, it's just like pushing. I don't know what the end result here was going to be for Felix and Domenico. They probably just both get tired and pass out if what happened didn't happen.
But in the midst of it all, Domenico luckily had a curling iron on, first of all, and secondly, used it to burn Felix's wide forehead. If you know Jeff Hiller's persona, you know he does have a big forehead. So there's a lot of real
Big
estate
old
there.
dome. Yeah,
Yeah.
big old dome over there. Yeah.
To brand him with, basically, with this curling iron. But then Felix turns it around and actually uses the cord of the curling iron to strangle Domenico. And then, like, in my mind, I'm always like, if you strangle someone, there's a mark, right? Like, they're gonna know that that person was strangled. It's not like whatever. But Felix decides to take the curling iron and also a couple of the wigs on Domenico's display, and gets out of there, kind of sort of framing it as a robbery type situation.
I thought it was really smart. Number one, to take the murder weapon. Good idea. Number two, yeah, to frame it as a robbery. Now, in terms of what the kind of murders we've gotten recently, I feel like this is kind of a surprise murder. Like, Felix did not come there with the intent to
Correct.
murder, I don't think. This is kind of like a on the spot murder. Like a lot of the murders you've seen recently have been more premeditated. This one's just kind of like, oh crap, like I gotta kill this guy because we're fighting. I don't know.
It's like what they say. What do they call it? Crime of passion. Like,
yeah, heat of the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit different. So now the investigation is going to take off, and Elsbeth is at the crime scene. First time we've seen that in a while. Like,
yeah,
she's
thankfully
there, which was great.
She didn't have to go find herself a murder or go butt her nose into something that she didn't belong in. We actually had a murder. I mean, obviously, the streets of New York have been pretty safe for the last few weeks over on Elsbeth because she had to find things to do. Finally, she gets brought into an actual investigation.
So we're happy to see Elsbeth there. I wasn't too happy to see Detective SpongeBob.
You hate Detective SpongeBob. You hate him so bad. Why is that again? Because
he left his wife for Ariana Grande in the middle of the thing.
Right. Yeah, he's a deadbeat. I forgot.
Yeah. And but his character is a good friend, sort of, in this situation. And Elsbeth again is trying to repair her relationship with her son Teddy, because last we saw them, Teddy was just finding out about her relationship with Alec, and that was not great. So Teddy's being a little radio silent, and Elsbeth is leaning on Detective SpongeBob for some advice. And he's like, you're at the point where you're like analyzing emojis. We've all been there, I think, at some point in our lives. And he says, just chill out. He'll reach out when he's ready.
Bruh, can Detective SpongeBob talk to my mother? Because I feel like I thought my mother might need this pep talk for Detective SpongeBob. Like, chill out, relax. He will get back to you. He's not he'll get there.
We do learn through this because the sauce that's on the stove is just so enticing. Everyone wants it. Everyone loves it. Elsbeth loves the sauce. We learn the difference between sauce and gravy in this conversation. And I think it's just a regional thing at this point. I don't want to insult Italians whenever I let them lead. I'm like, are you a sauce person or are you a gravy person? I make no assumptions about anything I can call it. I wait for somebody to call something, and they go, okay, that's the thing I'm going to call it now. Yes. Also on the scene is Detective Smullen.
Smullen!
Yeah.
Been a minute since seeing Smullen. Smullen, I thought they used to perfect effect this episode. I loved it. Mostly when Smullen's here, I'm just like, ugh, it's Smullen. But Smullen was so great this episode.
Smullen was pretty great. And we learned that the sauce was a key to Domenico's business proceedings, right? Like, we learn that not only when someone came for a wig fitting, they not only got their wig, but they participated in something called a wig feeding, which I thought
of fitting, it was feedings. Yeah,
it's weird. But it was like this big meal cooked by Domenico's mom with the sauce. Also, during all this talk of sauce and gravy, we do learn a little bit more about Elsbeth's ex and how her ex-mother-in-law called her a strange woman in Italian.
We're 5 seasons deep into our good wife coverage, and we still really don't have never met Elsbeth's husband. No Michael, no Teddy. I think she might have name checked she had a son in one of the previous episodes, but nothing about the husband, nothing we don't know. Well, I do think she's divorced when she's on The Good Wife, right? Because she's like
I think
flirting
so.
with Parati or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting to like meet. I don't remember if he ever met Elsbeth's husband over on The Good Wife, so I'm waiting for that moment where we might meet him.
Yeah, I don't think we
If
have.
not, he needs to pop back up in Elsbeth. Like it's come on, let's go.
Yeah. Mama Capelli is the one who found Domenico, and she called 911. And she's just so proud of her son, right? Like she's like, he worked with everyone from Cher, Dolly, Lady Gaga, Diana Ross.
Lady Gaga. were you asking for some ID check around here? I'm like, you were this old man's mother? Like you
Yes.
You do not look old enough to be this old man's mother. I feel like who Domenico was, his mother should not be on the earth anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also like I was very confused. I was like, is it his mom or is it a mom? Like we just called her mama. You know what I mean? But I think it was his mom. Yeah.
I was like, Mom, are you sure not his sister, his wife? Like, this is not, it's not adding up here.
It's noted that not all of the wigs were taken from the scene, only the most expensive ones. So this is someone who really knows wigs. That was the murderer here. And they also, when examining the body, look at Domenico and realize that he has some burns on his hand. So there might have been a struggle with the curling iron.
I was like, how did you clock exactly what the murder tool was? It's like that they get okay. They sometimes these stories like, okay, you gave him a little too much credit here. Like this looks like it was a curling iron. Like, okay, that was, I don't know how you got that for just a bird, but okay.
But what was really interesting about this whole thing, like the conversation, because we have Smullen and we have Elsbeth kind of by the body, examining the body, and the theories that went back and forth with them, they were really a team.
Yeah, they were flowing. It was like, oh yeah, this must be a murder stages and robbery, right? Elsbeth, she's like, yeah, you got it, Smullen, you got it. Like usually Smullen's out here like, oh, must have been the next door neighbor or something. Like he's ready to like take the most ready, get quick result that he can. But now he's like, Elsbeth like, trading theories back and forth. I was like, okay, all right, Smullen, I see you growing. I see you like getting there. I like you, Smullen. I like it.
Yeah, I think Elsbeth's time has kind of like proven herself to Smullen. She's like, okay. He's like, all right, we can take this together. And Elsbeth is still Elsbeth. She needs to slide into every single moment where she's trying to explain something. So she goes outside, comes in, slides back into the murder scene, and really points out to Smullen and us that, oh yeah, if he has burns, the other guy should have burns too.
Yeah, it's like we gotta have Elsbeth doing something kooky with her body, like running around. So this is the time for her to reenact the murder. I was like, all right, we got our physical comedy time in.
They take the case to Wagner, who can't believe that wigs cost this much, which was funny.
He's like, even this is, I don't think an Oscar would do this. Like, not even a nominee. You know what I mean? Love me some Wagner.
And turns, they're talking about it, and they're like, this is a turf war between the big wigs, all 5 of them. They wanted his clients for the molten gold, and Wagner has an issue. Oh well, and he says to bring in all the big 5 to like come in and let's question them. At the same time, Wagner is having an issue with the donor to his foundation, Jason. I was like, oh my god, foundation. What's going on?
We finally getting the evil wife back in the picture, but
no.
That ship for me has totally sailed. Totally. If we ever talk to the Kings, remind me to ask them about Mrs. Wagner, because I swear to God, in that first season they were like, she's gonna be evil, and then they're like, nah, we're not gonna make her evil. Like I swear, I was just getting that vibe.
Right. Yeah. But the donor wants Wagner to be involved in this issue with his daughter. His daughter's being bullied and wants the chief of the homicide department to take care of it in New York City. So they bring in all the wig makers for interviews. Elsbeth is doing, I don't know, some personal space invasion in trying to find out if any of them have burns. It was funny, but also like, I was like, get away from me.
Yeah. It's like, do you always wear turtlenecks? Like only when it's cold?
No.
Like, okay. All right. You got me this time.
We do learn that it is Wigageddon, so there's a bunch of different events happening, so they're all super, super busy. And Andrea points out that Domenico didn't have a ton of hair, but the bigwigs were good about sharing. So this again leads to like the whole like community, I have my turf, you have your turf type of vibe that was there before this all happened. And during this interview, she turns to Smolin and goes, "Do you need some help there, Smolin? Smalls? You need something?"
Smells like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? and that just triggers Smolin for the rest of the episode. He'd be like looking in the mirror at all times, like, do I need some?
It was so great. It was so great. He's like, I'm confident in my age. And then like the next shot is him like checking his reflection in the mirror, or in the two-way mirror in the investigation. Like he didn't even wait to leave the investigation room. He was just right there. The other three are like, okay, we don't need to take from Domenico's biz because we have our own. So like why would we be involved in this? But we do learn something from Persimmon that he makes merkins. And I'm gonna leave it to Jason to tell everyone what merkins are.
If you don't know what merkins are, they are, if you've ever watched a movie where there's some risque, but tasteful nudity, full frontal, perhaps, usually on women. The merkins are pubic wigs. And I think if you understand terminology, you get what I mean. Instead of showing all your business and goody goods, you get to put like a fake piece of hair over the offending area. Not offending. A woman's private part's not offensive to me at all.
Normans.
Anyway, these are fake pieces of hair you can put over your private parts if you want to make it look like you are all natural without actually going all natural in a movie.
If you were in that position in more ways than one. Persimmon not only tells us about his skills, but he also let us know that there was a discussion about who would take Domenico's clients, and Felix is the only one that only wanted Lena. He didn't want anyone else. And he's like, that's really hard because Lena's color is molten gold, and we know how hard it is to come and buy that stuff. Finally, they question Felix, and he's like, I love Lena, such a big fan, but I'm not even sure why she would want to talk to me. Like, I don't even know about that. But we already know that this conversation has already happened. So Felix is already lying to the police.
Felix, this is a bad idea, Felix. Like, why would you give such a provable lie to the police? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, well, we'll go talk to Lena. And he's like, no. Oh, well, I mean, she's busy. Like, so busy. Like, I don't know if you really do want to talk to Lena. Next scene, they talk to Lena.
They talk to Lena immediately. Wasn't that hard, Felix? Wasn't that hard?
And she totally goes against, she tells the truth and says, yeah, I did commission a wig from Felix, and because I wanted something more realistic. She's very concerned about the flyaways in HD, which I don't know if that's still a concern for people, but okay. And it's like, yeah, it was Felix who I had the wig commissioned from. Huh. That's different than what we heard.
Interesting. Now, this episode to me was also a little different because I feel like, because usually in like the first 5 minutes of a case, Elsbeth is like, got him, that's him. But this took a little longer for Elsbeth to like hone in on who she's after. But this, I think, was the moment like, okay, all right, it's probably Felix, right? I'm feeling Felix.
Well, she really leans into her get as close to the murderer thing here.
And Felix, for all his faults, didn't do the thing that a lot of our murderers do, which is to, for no reason at all, go back to the crime scene to be like, oh my gosh, what happened? This is crazy. So I mean, really, Elsbeth didn't know that much about Felix or met Felix until they got him into interrogation. So good on Felix for at least trying to remain back in the cut as to not make himself super suspicious off the bat.
Yeah. And so Elsbeth and Smolin go visit Felix in his workshop, and he talks about like there's a bunch of toupees. Obviously, Smolin is asking about these toupees. like it's hard work, but it's rewarding. And he talks about also one thing that, came up when he was talking to Lena at first as well, is just like the power that can come from giving a wig to someone who's going through medical treatment and how that can really help them do that. So he's trying to show just like how altruistic he can be. They confront him about Lena, but he's like, I didn't want to tarnish Domenico's reputation here. Like, I didn't want the world to know that she was unhappy with him.
And it's like, okay,
so
okay,
soon after he died, like that would just not be like me.
Yeah, awesome, Felix, but we're not the world. Like we're the cops. Like you could have told us when we talked to you, but like we're not the media. Like not a really great excuse to not tell the truth there.
Yeah, and they ask, like, did Domenico know she was leaving? And Felix is like, probably not. Like, probably not. And he talks about, like, I forget how this comes up, but there was a little nod to the show itself in this conversation. Jason, do you remember how it popped up?
I remember how it popped up, but it was something about like, Domenico's work with Lena. He's like, showbiz people always recycling old material. And then Elsbeth and Smullen look at each other of like, and then look at the camera of like, you get it? We're talking about us because we're recycling an old show called Columbo. Like that's what we're doing. Like you get it? You get it? I'm like, okay. Oh, that was a little on the nose. But I'll give you a golf clap for that one, Elsbeth. Good job.
Oh, they decide it's time to talk to Mama, Domenico's mom again, and she said she could tell us if Felix was poaching Lisa or Lena in the end. And Smullen at the end of this is like, you go do that. You go talk to Mama over there. I'm gonna go to the barber. And Elspeth is like, what now? He's like, I need a haircut. A man needs a haircut. I gotta go. So this whole image thing is really getting to Smullen.
Getting to him, yeah.
Meanwhile, Wagner talks to the donor and his daughter about dressage girls, which is the art of horseback riding, to very specific elements. And there's some bullying happening at the horse barn. He's like, can you figure out what's going on? And he's like, well, let's start with this Rebecca character because her parents were separated. Maybe she's like using some of this angst against your daughter.
It felt a little elitist, right? Like start with Rebecca. Her parents were separated. Like, there's no good one. That one probably broke her parents up.
Well, but at the same time, Wagner's like, okay, I'll see what I could do. I guess this is something I'm really doing. So Elspeth goes to talk to Mama Capelli, and Mama Capelli is like, I had to put the sauce away, but I saved you a jar, Elspeth. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is the best day ever. There is some more talk between Elspeth and Detective SpongeBob because Elspeth wants to take a picture of the sauce and send it to Teddy, and Detective SpongeBob is like, just leave him alone. Not now. They do ask Mama Capelli about Lena, and she says if he did know about it, he would confront Felix about it. Like, he's not going to just sit there and take that. He's going to make a confrontation. So Smullen and Elsbeth bring that back to Wagner. And Wagner's just been dealing with these teen bullies all day. He's very cranky about it.
Wagner is ready to do anything but talk to these little girls. He's like, I've been talking to little teenage bullies all day. Like, I'm not having a good day. He was like, I'd rather talk to a murderer than one of these teenage girls.
Yeah.
Listen, as a father of a teenage girl, right this very moment, I get it. I understand.
At this point, everything is leading our heroes to believe that Felix is our number one suspect here. And Smullen is pretty obsessed with the wigs.
He's like, you think that person's wearing a wig? Like, you think that person's wearing a wig? He's just like, he's now trying to like, I think he's trying to justify to himself now, like, everybody wears a wig, right? It would be really crazy if I did, right?
Like everybody does it. Like everybody cheats. So like it's okay. Like it's all right. Back at Felix's workshop, Elsbeth is getting fitted for a wig. I knew this is where we were going with this, but it was still kind of fun to see. Yeah. Detective SpongeBob asks what Felix talked to Domenico about on the phone, and Felix is like, the what phone? The who what? It's like, yeah, we have these things called phone records, and we can see that you spoke to him the night that he died. And Felix like, yeah, he was looking for some lace closures or something or other. He's like, yeah, okay, but like, why didn't he just call from his cell phone then? Why did he actually use the landline at his mom's house to make this call? Which seems like he was hiding communication. And I was like, that is a very like mob calculation type of thing that I don't think was warranted at this time yet, but okay.
That part definitely threw me off. I was like, wait, like so he wanted it to be hidden, so he called from the landline? That doesn't make any sense. Like
it's like kind of, I guess saying like, why would Mama Capelli call Felix as opposed to why did Domenico call Felix?
I guess. I was like, okay, you could have cut that. Could have cut that line.
Yeah, I didn't need that. But we do get our first wig reveal of Elsbeth as a brunette. Jason, thoughts? What did you think? Did you think it gave Meghan Markle as
not necessarily. But I don't know. I haven't gotten to a point where Meghan Markle is like, so like, rejected in our society. It's like, oh, makes you look at Meghan Markle too much. I think Meghan Markle's pretty hot.
So I know. I'm like, I would love to look.
I don't know why that. I don't know why it precludes any wigs. I was like, all right, fine. We don't like Meghan Markle right here. Great, cool. But I thought, Elsbeth in the wigs just makes me realize that Elsbeth is Elsbeth as a redhead, and that's how she should always be.
Yes. Elsbeth sees Lena's wig and remarks about Domenico's wigs being stolen to gauge Felix's reaction, and he passes that test. He doesn't
like,
really.
I don't know. I guess you guys have to worry about that, not me, because the Elsbeth's doing the Elsbeth thing, dropping clues, dropping hints of like, hey, like we know what's going on. Like, let me see what you say. Right? When I tell you about this hint we got, he does pretty good with it though. He's like, oh, okay.
And he's like, okay, well, let's try this wig, and it's a blonde, like short, wavy bob. And I was like, she's just gonna try it on. I did not expect for her to continue wearing it.
Yeah, throughout most of the rest of the episode, she's wearing this blonde wig.
Yeah. So much so that she's like in a file room, and Wagner did not even recognize Elsbeth. But she does make a comment that wig hair goes everywhere. And then as she's making this comment, we see Smolin going down through the precinct in his new toupee as well. I don't think the toupee did much for him. I don't know.
No, I totally disagree. I was like, oh, this is a new Smolin. I mean, I think it was part of the act. Is like he's now more confident in his toupee because he's standing upright. He's like walking around the precinct like a big man on campus. I thought it did a lot for him. I was like, okay, that looks pretty good. I like that.
I was like, I need you to have a part for some reason in his hair. It was just like one coif.
One big pile of hair.
Yes. So with their new looks, Smolin doesn't go, but Elsbeth's new look and goes with Detective SpongeBob to join Felix at Drag Brunch, because this was his whole thing. He's like, I can tell you more information, but I can tell you specifically on Saturday at 10 a.m. And she's like, okay. So they go and join Felix at the Drag Brunch. Of course, Persimmon is there because he is responsible for all of the wigs of the performance. Or she. I think she was referred to.
I think they identify as she. Yeah.
Yeah. She's there with because of the wigs for the performers, and Felix like very obviously goes, oh, look, it's Diana Ross. Not Diana Ross, but someone in a wig that's like Diana Ross. Oh, that's so convenient.
Oh, wasn't one of the stolen wigs the Diana Ross wig? Huh, that's weird. Huh. Bro.
Yeah.
The subtlety of a Mack truck of Felix here.
Yeah, and they end up arresting Persimmon for this.
I love it. I was like, Gordon Persimmon, Tuttle, you are arrested. Like, do not call me that. Like, her name is Persimmon, okay? Yes. Let me call me no Gordon.
Yes. And I just feel like Felix, you didn't have to do this. Like, this was a no-go. This was no-go. But we did get more time to talk to Persimmon, which I enjoyed. Persimmon is in the interrogation room, insisting that at the drag pageant, he was at a drag pageant at the time of the murder, and he and Elsbeth checked the socials to make sure Like, he's like, look, I was there. Like, here's my alibi. I'm right here. And Smolin, this is where the teamwork of Elsbeth and Smolin diverge into a wid, because Smolin's like, we got the guy. Like, we got the person. That's it.
Mission accomplished. Just like, come on, bro. I was rooting for you this episode. Then you got to go back to your normal ways. Like, the very, very tenuous evidence points to Persimmon. So I'm going to go with that. I was like, what real evidence do y'all have that it was Persimmon at this point? Like, the fact that one of the performers has on, are you able to prove that it was Domenico's wig? Is there a Domenico like name tag in the wig? I just thought it was a very like thin evidence to be arresting someone on.
Yeah, not cool. Not cool. They do talk about the conversation or the fact that Felix poached Lena from Domenico, and Persimmon's like, that doesn't make any sense because everyone was really desperate for this molten gold. And why would you want a client whose hair was molten gold if you were going to have to make a wig fully made of molten gold? Through Wagner's continued dedication to his donor, we find that the teenager had her ponytail cut off by one of the bullies. And it was like, oh, yeah, but this wasn't, I mean, she wasn't we didn't see a ponytail get caught at a dressage competition or anything like that, or a horse barn. We only saw it like at a park.
I thought this was a really clever merging of the storylines, right?
Yeah.
Is it a little convenient? Oh, for sure. That the issue that Wagner is having just so happens to be the same thing as Elsbeth and Smolin are dealing with. So I thought it was a good twist. We don't get many twists in the Elsbeth storytelling. This was like, oh, these storylines are connected. Okay, interesting.
I had a suspicion because I was doing something else while I was watching. I was checking my social media or something. So I missed like the introduction to Brynlin, the teenager, and I saw the blunt bob cut, and I was like, oh, I wonder if she got her hair chopped off. And then I was like, oh, she got her hair chopped off.
You heard it here, folks. Good. Marissa is smarter than me. Marissa got it before I did.
No.
How dare you, Marissa? Pick on an infirmed, injured person.
I was
dealing with things while I was watching the episode.
Yes,
so it's okay. So maybe I didn't get to pick it out, but you had to let the world know that you got it first. I'll give it to you. You got all the credit you need, Marissa. Got all the credit you need. Here you go.
I just wasn't expecting for that to be real. Like, I was excited that they converged, that these two storylines came together. So they questioned Brynlin. First of all, great character name for a teenage girl at a horse stable with a rich dad.
Hey, Brynlin.
Yeah. And she's like, okay, well, like, where did you get your ponytail cut off? Was it at dressage practice? She's like, no, I was going to meet with the dirty poors at the park.
She goes, I was meeting some girls at a rec center. Dad's like, oh, those people go to public schools. Why are you meeting with them? It's like, oh my gosh, bro. Come on.
Yeah. And then what did she say about her horse? Because I remember her horse's name is Godiva, but she does say she wanted to do something.
Well, Dad was upset because the hair that she had was going to match the hair of her horse, Godiva. So he's upset that the ponytail got cut off because of that.
That's right. So they end up
the dad wanted Domenico to make a replacement ponytail, but Domenico did not have enough like molten gold to do it. So this is what tipped off Domenico to know that Felix cut off the girl's hair, because it's like, oh, so that's how you got the hair for the wig. You cut off this girl's hair to make the wig. Gotcha.
That's how he knows about the snip.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And at this point, Wagner's like, okay, like because Elsbeth is on this train now. She's like, Felix cut the ponytail. This is all connected. And Wagner's like, okay, great story, but I need you to actually find some proof that this is what happened.
It's like clockwork now. Every episode is like, all right, great deduction, Elsbeth. Like you figured it out, but now we need some proof. Now we need some stand up in the court proof and evidence. That's what you do now. Elsbeth.
You're the lawyer. Go get it. So
every
Elsbeth,
episode from now on, it's like, oh, it's time for me to point out. It is 10 minutes left in the episode. Time for me to point out that you need some evidence.
And as usual, we have the moment of Elsbeth at home, like sitting with the thoughts of the case, and usually something having to do with the case. In this case, it was the sauce from Mama Capelli. And she gets her eureka moment.
You almost see the light bulb going off over her head.
Yes. So she rushes over to Felix. Well, the next day, probably, because she's always in her pajamas when she has her eureka moments also. So she goes to Felix's studio, and Felix is showing Lena the wig that he made. And during this whole thing, the arrest happens. So like with Lena there, which I thought was interesting because it kind of puts her in the middle of it. We've got Elsbeth Smullen, Detective SpongeBob show up and tell Lena what Felix did to Brinlin. She's like, I can't. This is enough for me. Like, don't even get to the murder part. It's like, I just don't want to be associated with someone who cuts off people's ponytails.
She dips quick fast. Like, I think it would be interesting for her to have known that Felix is the one that killed Domenico, since she was like so close to Domenico. But she's like, nope, I don't want to hear nothing else about it. She basically covers her ears like la 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 la, and she's going back up the steps because the diva of daytime cannot be associated with this type of nonsense.
Smart lady. Then we get the whole layout to Felix about how he committed the murder, and Elsbeth says that the proof came from a hair found in the sauce, because this entire time while Elsbeth was wearing this wig, she kept shedding. She's finding a bunch of hair everywhere. And the hair matches the hair on Felix's smock. And so therefore it is connected.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, like I was trying to parse this out. I was like, okay, so this one jar of sauce from the big container of sauce that Mama Capelli gave to Elsbeth had a hair from Felix's smock from when Felix was like looking over the sauce in the beginning.
Yeah,
so I guess some hair from his smock got in the sauce, which very fortunate that it was in that like concentrated jar of sauce.
And also in that volume, like yes, yeah.
Like this is like okay, I got you there. And it also that hair also matches the type of hair that he gave to Elsbeth on that blonde wig, which we found out was yak hair and not actually human hair. Which is like, it's like, okay. Like, again, I want Wagner to come back and be like, okay, like that's some evidence, but like, I don't know if it's good enough else, but you might need some better ones. Because I'm like, I don't know. I feel like that can be kind of explained away in a court case. Like many people use that type of material in wigs, Your Honor. Not necessarily my client. So I think this one, Felix might be back on the street pretty soon. I don't know, but this is enough to arrest him in this moment. Like, let's get your ass in cuffs. Come on.
Yeah. This was enough. And this was enough for then Felix to go, oh my God, thank God I can take this wig off, basically, because he's been wearing a toupee this whole time, which is something I forgot to mention. At the beginning of the episode, no toupee on Felix. He is there. Post burn, he's like, I have to cover this up, so I'm going to wear a toupee. And then after he gets arrested, he's like, oh, thank God, it's so hot under here. Let me take this off. And we see the burn.
Big old burn. Because, Domenico, like, as they're fighting, like, this man fights dirty. He burned that big old dome of Felix's with the curling iron. That was like, I thought that was going to be like one of the smoking guns for Elsbeth to be like, oh, you have a burn. But he covered the burn the whole episode with a new toupee. I don't know how he got enough hair to cover that big old dome, but he did. So I like that. I was like, oh my God, thank you. Like, I can actually just like get this synthetic hair off this burn. I guess he chose not to even like treat the burn at all. He just like let it be a burn on his head.
Well, yeah, I don't know that. All I know about burns is put Vaseline on it after, like, you have to let it air out, but then like put moisturizer on it or like treatment on, and then put Vaseline on it so that it's sealed. But
so all awesome and good. We got the arrest going. Felix is on his way to jail. He's got his cuffs, but I wanted to really point this out. I really want to know if other people clock this or not, because as Felix is being led away, and I watched this a couple of different times. I had to make sure. We hear Felix in a seemingly narration inside of your mind goes, I played it short and slick in the world of hair and got tangled in my own weave. Great, cool. But then Elsbeth goes, what'd you say? He says, oh, never mind. Can Elsbeth read minds now?
Okay, this would
Is
be
that where we're
quite the
going?
evolution. It's kind of like in Pokemon, right? Like, this would be a new power.
Yeah, this is a new evolution. Like, bruh, is this how we're going? Is this how we're moving the show forward? I mean, listen, I think it'd make it way more interesting if you gave Elsbeth mind reading powers, because and I checked. I rewound. I was like, that man's mouth did not move. He did not say this out loud. And he didn't. And it's like, wait, what? Huh? So I need some explanation. I need something.
Well,
like,
we're gonna have to watch, because either it is happening or it was quite the post-production blunder.
I don't know, man. I was like, and she looks weird after. She's like, oh.
Well, because like if it was a blender or whatever, they could have cut that out. Like, they could have cut her saying, what did you say out? Like, it could have just been cut out from the scene.
Because I checked. I was like, nope, he didn't say anything crazy before he started his mind narration, and now he's saying this, and she's like,
my gosh,
what'd you say? So, listen, telepathic watch from now on is like, can Elsbeth read people's minds?
Wonder if Elsbeth is gonna become the amalgamation of all of the police consultants. So we got Columbo. Columbo's working. Are we gonna get the mentalist? Are we gonna get Monk? Are we gonna get like, who else are we gonna get in here? That she becomes like she becomes like the super, or she's recycling the recycling material. You know what I mean?
She becomes the real mentalist.
Yeah.
You know, listen,
like, I don't know, the Optimus Prime of
no, but she's a redhead. She's a redhead. You know who else is a redhead? Jean Grey from the X-Men. You know what Jean Grey can do? She can read minds. Is Elsbeth Jean Grey? Is she going to be starring alongside Good Wife also person Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler in the new Avengers Doomsday? Is this how we're introducing that? Oh my god, crazy! But my mouth was agape. I was like, what just happened here? So I really want to hear if people clock that as well. Let us know in the comments on YouTube. If you want to shoot us email, we'd love it. I just need to know that I was not the only person that clocked that. That did not see that. I was like, what's happening now? So that really struck me as crazy.
It's a good catch. Good catch. Mm-hmm. We end up with some good work from Tascioni and Smullen here. Smullen is toupee-less at the end, but they are a team, which was nice to see.
I just was surprised it wasn't some like corny line of like, Elsbeth, I realized the real me is the hairless me, or something like that. You know what I mean? But I was like, I like Elsbeth and Smullen getting along. I was like, this is good. Okay, nice, a little warm moment between these two. I like that. Yeah, because he's like, good work, Tascioni. It's like, oh, Smullen, you out here like giving kudos. All right, I like it.
And at the end of the day, Brynlin has to confess that she wasn't being bullied. She just didn't want to do dressage anymore. And she made this whole thing up. And because of the time wasted, or like her dad feels that Wagner wasted a bunch of time, which he did, he makes another sizable donation to the foundation. So we're good there. And then we also have a call from Teddy to Elsbeth at the end of the episode, and everything is good. It was just like, everything's good, fine. Again, it was like, ha ha ha, hoo hoo hoo. Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh.
We didn't get the details of the call. It's just like, oh, hey, my star reporter, Teddy.
So that was the murder.
But
we did have some other action happening that kind of pulled up an old friend, an old character, an old person. It turns out that Judge Crawford's widow, Winnie, is working with someone at the Landis Political Consulting about whether Alec Bloom is the saint he says he is. Like, are there skeletons in his closet? What's going on? And Winnie says, I have a friend who's pretty close to Bloom. So let me go see what I could find out. And she actually goes to the precinct and asks Elsbeth to have lunch. I was like, oh my gosh, ladies who lunch. Let's do this. Mm-hmm. So Winnie and Elsbeth have lunch. This is blonde Elsbeth at the moment. Yep. And it's like 5 seconds of like, this is so nice. And then when he's like, I actually have an ulterior motive. Like, I'm on this board of women voters and we all love Alec, but he's a little too perfect. Like, we want to make sure he wasn't created in a lab. We want to make sure that he's good. So I'm going to ask you, friend to friend, you know, girl to girl, do you trust him? And Elsbeth does take a moment, but she says yes.
Now listen, I've been clocking Elsbeth for a long time now. And the way she says yes, I'm like, but do you
What's up, right? Right?
Something's going on.
Right.
So here's the thing. Let's finish this segment out. Then I want to get through my Alec theory.
Oh, yeah. There's a theory. There is a theory. So then Elsbeth does share this with Wagner, and he's kind of like, well, what's going on there? She's like, I don't know if I can trust her because, you know, it's Winnie Crawford.
I mean, yeah, she's a Crawford, so
yeah,
don't know if you can trust him.
And we do see a scene later in the episode where Winnie Crawford is back with the guy at the political consultant firm, and she tells him it's not what Elsbeth said, but kind of like what she didn't say. It's like, it's not what you said, it's how you said it, it's what you didn't say. It wasn't like, I trust him, here's a reason why. It wasn't like, I trust him, he's the best guy on the planet. It was just, yeah, I trust him. And then she also puts the pieces together that Teddy wrote the article exposing Alec. So they're really working together at this political consultant firm to take down Alec.
I really did not expect. First of all, when Winnie Crawford pops back up, I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing that happened a while ago. Mm-hmm. Like the widow of the judge that was the big bad last season popped up again. I was like, oh my god, okay, yeah, because we were questioning then. Is she a good guy, bad guy? She burned up the evidence against her husband. So I don't know. Not sure. So is she doing this for good or is she doing this for evil? That she wants to get Alec, busted or whatever. And so I never expected her to come back in this capacity, in this storyline. I was like, wow, okay. We're merging some stuff together. Great, cool. So I was thinking about the Alec of it all. Because again, when Elsbeth goes, yes, I do. It was a very tentative, yes, I trust him. Like, okay. So I feel like Elsbeth is still suspicious. So I went back to my thinking. I was like, let me think about the last episode, what we saw. What we saw was Elsbeth in her bathrobe, Alec in a towel. So I was like, let me think about this. Maybe they weren't doing the nasty. They weren't doing the Humpty Hump. Because that's what we assumed, right? That's what we assumed. That's what Teddy assumed, that they were doing they were bumping uglies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what television has trained us to believe.
Exactly. And the Kings will do nothing more than to flip your expectations. So I was like, what if in a future episode we get a flashback where it's revealed that, Elsbeth, to try and maybe get some part of Al's clothing, to get some DNA evidence or something. She does her Elsbeth thing.
Well, and her whole thing is getting close to the murderer.
Exactly. So she was like, I don't know, she spills some like wine on Alec or something, or makes it messy for some other reasons. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You go ahead, use my shower. Go ahead. And while he's doing that, she's like, going through his stuff or like getting some sort of evidence she needs. So that's my new thinking.
Do you think that is part of you're the only person who can save New York?
Like, I think so. I could see
that. See, Jason, I just have to say, you have been allowed to rest a lot this week, even though you have been in recovery. So I just want to say, like, look what happens. Look what happens when you get to rest.
Look what happens when you stop and think. Look what happens when you stop and really investigate things. When you're not busy in the hustle and bustle of work and life. Listen. Actually, this might not be good because my wife started listening to my podcast because she missed me in the hospital.
Oh, that was so nice.
Just may hear this. So like, just give it a little low. It's been pretty nice to be waited on for once. You know what
Oh
I
my
mean?
gosh,
Like,
you deserve a break.
yeah, but yeah. So yeah, I really had to think about it. But I was like, wait a minute, maybe not was all as it seemed in that last
All right.
bit we saw last episode. So I still think Alec is at the very least just not who he says he is. Right? He's some other different person. I don't know what else that means. I don't know. I don't know if this means that is this Winnie trying to get herself to be the mayor? You know what I mean? Like, will we find out that this is all a bid
Oh.
for Winnie to become mayor, and it's maybe even a worse evil than what Alec was presenting?
Do you think? I don't know if okay. Do you think it's like some other person we've seen in the news when her husband died? She uses that for political capital, and then rises to the top of some sort of political engine. No, no.
Maybe this will be a turning point for
Oh, maybe. Oh,
for
good.
Winnie.
See? Rest, Jason. Rest.
Makes her brain sharp. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe listen, what if we bust Alec for just being like just not who he said he was, right? Like not anything crazy. He might still be an okay guy. He might not be evil. He's just kind of lying about his thing. But what if that just like leads us to an even bigger evil of Winnie Crawford, and she becomes the mayor, and she starts like cutting the budget even worse on Wagner and the department, because this is the department that got her husband killed. Like, what if I'm just coming up with all sorts of stuff. I'm just like, I'm out here writing scripts, and you know, watch it should be nothing. It'd be nothing like what I'm saying right now. It'll just be like, no, Alec's a good guy and Elsbeth loves him, and they are now the it couple. Like, what were you thinking, Jason?
No, I can't wait to see like what comes of all of your theories, because I think they're all like there's valid points in a lot of them, and I think that the fact that you found something this exciting in an Elsbeth episode makes me excited.
Yeah.
So,
you know? But
yes.
the problem with these subplots is it takes us way too damn long to get to the
way too long. Like, where is Kaya?
Where's Kaya? I'm gonna say it every episode. Where's Kaya? Now in the real life, she was pregnant at this time, so that might be another reason why she's not coming back as a guest star. But we got to know. Even if she's not present, if she's not physically present, just let me know she's okay. Like,
yeah, like I got an email from Kaya.
Yeah, like, something. You know, like they used to do on old shows back in the day, where like when a actor was like let go from a show, but we had to still explain where they were. Like, oh, Jimmy is writing from California. Just got a postcard. He's doing really well.
Or if they leave a show, a medical show that's been running for over 30 seasons, and leave a really horrible letter, that's not horrible in the way it is. It's just the cheesiest way that an actor could have left a show ever. I am looking at you, Grey's Anatomy. If you know, you know.
All right. I don't know. I didn't watch that show. Or I don't watch that show because it's still going on after 1,000 years. But yes, I'm excited to see what the Alec stuff brings. Unfortunately, you only spend about 4 minutes per episode to talk about Alec and what's going on there. So we'll get there eventually.
I mean, we're on 12. What we got? It's
8 more episodes left.
Yeah. So it might speed up now. It might speed up. Who knows? I'm sure we got to get there by the end of it.
Hopefully. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the season, just like, oh yeah, we took Alec down, and it's like Winnie Crawford now projected to be the next mayor of New York. Yeah, it's like, bum bum bum. What problems will that bring in the next season of Elsbeth, season 4? So yeah, that was our take on the episode. Good episode of Elsbeth, you know, in the term of Elsbeth episodes, good episode. And that's it for me. Marissa, what do you got that's coming up? What are you doing? What are you working on? You know?
Well, I'm chatting more with you about The Good Wife, Elsbeth's origin story. On here on the Good Pod, we have both audio and video versions available for you. Videos on YouTube, and there are separate playlists for each show. So if you're watching one or the other, you can just stay updated there. And you can find links to that and all of the other podcasts that I'm on at itsmemarissag.com. There you will also find links to Whirlwind Podcasts, where I am on previous Little Liars, talking about Pretty Little Liars, one previously on at a time, and also Flying Through Space with my sister, searching for the final frontier on our podcast, the USS Sisterhood, where we are watching Star Trek The Next Generation one season at a time.
Marissa,
I don't know. Once in a while.
Marissa,
I know I said there would be new ones up.
I was in the hospital. I was like, you know what would really be good right now? It's the new USS Sisterhoods. She said they were coming.
I will get you some for your at-home recovery for sure.
All right. I was tempted to be like, can you just slide me some episodes? Like, come on, like on the down low, can you get some early access, something.
Oh,
I've been waiting. Yes. I'm sorry. Was that all? Was that it?
That was it. That's it for me, Jason. Where are you and your recovering body these days?
Listen, one of the best things to do in my position right now is to make podcasts. That's what I've been doing. I just sit here and talk. I've got to move around, which is really the big bugaboo for me at the moment. So that's one thing I can do, and then I have been doing. So you can listen to me, Asia Welch, Mary Krakowski, talk about Love is Blind, the shenanigans going on over there. We just released our weddings episode recap.
Oh,
so you can check that out.
Watch that.
Yeah, gotta watch it. It's some interesting stuff going on there. So yeah, you can check that out over Rob Has Podcast. You type in Love at First Sight, you will find it. You can also join me and Asia Welch over on Patreon as we discuss the show Married at First Sight. We are doing some older seasons until a new season comes up. So we're doing season 10 over on the Patreon. So if that's something that floats your boat, come on over. We got other past seasons we've done. We got a whole treasure trove over there for you to check out if you enjoy the show Married at First Sight. Coming up, I will be on Altar Call talking 90 Day Fiance. Was there anything else? No, I think that's it for now. So that's me. That's Marissa. Until next time, stay good.